Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the broadcast of the 2013 North Coast Section Division I Boys Lacrosse Championship live from Novato High School here on PlayOnSports.com and also CIF NorthCoast.tv. My name is Michael Smith, a.k.a. Mike on the Mic, and I'll be giving you the broadcast here on what is a gorgeous early Friday evening here on May 24th, 2013. Two Marin County Athletic League rivals squaring off. They have played each other 3 times in 3 weeks. And right now, they're going through the starters. Cole Aikens will be in the goal for the home team, the Novato Hornets. Him as well as Madison for Redwood. Shaking hands before the game gets going. It'll be the Novato Hornets in the home whites. Black numbers outlined in gold. And the Redwood wearing the Redwood Giants wearing the visiting gray jerseys. They're like a charcoal gray with white numbers outlined in red. The faceoff is controlled and won by Redwood, as scooping it off the ground there is Redwood. I'll get you all the names and numbers of everyone in just a second, as right now Redwood in control of the ball, trying to move it around as they are marching west here to start the first quarter of play. Some young kids here in the stands with their lacrosse sticks and nets. This has been a long time coming for the North Bay, as for the most part, lacrosse has been dominated by teams from the East Bay Athletic League, those being the likes of De La Salle, San Ramon, Monte Vista. And both Redwood and Novato upsetting teams from the East Bay Athletic League to make it in this position to get to the championship game. Redwood still in control of the ball, and they finally take a shot on goal, but it was blocked by Cole Aikens. It was scooped up by Aikens, and Aikens almost turns the ball over trying to get it to one of his defenders, and now the ball is taken away by Redwood. For Redwood, it's number 5. I don't have a roster in front of me here, and I will try to get that as soon as I can. Right now, Redwood is controlling the ball at the moment, and they're looking for another shot here. Thank you. And it's Patrick Tracy taking a shot. Tracy's shot deflects out wide and goes out of bounds. Tracy, the human highlight reel, I was watching him online on YouTube. A junior attacker, 5'9", 135 pounds. He's made all league every year since his freshman year. A guy who I'm sure next year is going to get some big-time offers. To get the ball back in on the top side of your screen. That being the north side of the field here. And now it's Joe Perella, one of the captains, making moves with the ball. He passes it over to Max Friend. Friend looking to the top of the screen, and Britton Barge. Barge making moves, still has the ball, now passes it back to Perella. Perella with a shot that misses wide. And so the Hornets will now take control of the ball. And so Aikens with a long pass up the middle of the field to Matt Cavall. And Cavall trying to scoop the ball off the ground. He still has control of it, and finally it's taken away once again by Joe Perella. And right now Redwood's defense is just playing with more of a high intensity than Novato is. Redwood really pressuring the players from Novato and forcing them into turnovers. And they've nearly caused the goalie of Novato, Cole Aikens, to turn the ball over on his own right. Not only that, but they've been pressuring hard in the offensive side, looking for shots, planning things out. They have stayed in their offensive attack zone for pretty much the whole entire game so far. And now it's J.P. Josie looking for a shot, couldn't get it to go. Ball goes out. It's a battle between Mesker for Redwood and a couple of guys in white for Novato. And a nice move of the stick there from Tommy Carrasco to try to jar it loose from a Redwood player. Carrasco slips as he tries to chase Max Friend from behind the net. And there will be a stoppage in play with 8 minutes and 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. A scoreless game from the campus of Novato High School in Novato, California. Novato, the 4 seed in this tournament. And my partner has checked in. Won't be too long before he gets his headset on and ready to join me on this broadcast. And this is the first true time that Novato has had the ball in their offensive attacking zone. The ball has gone out this way, but they've never really controlled it like they're doing now. And now it's Matt Cavall trying to make his way closer towards the net, and he loses the ball. It's going to be a turnover. Redwood takes it away, and they're going to put it into the hands of their goalie. That is Oliver Madison, and Madison clears it out. Now it's John Gibbs running with the ball. He goes behind the net, pass over to Patrick Tracy. Tracy thought about taking a shot, but then passed it out wide. And now it's into the hands, or I should say the net, of Britton Barge. Barge with the slashing move there. Looks like he wants a shot, flings one in and scores! Britton Barge, the senior middle for Redwood, scores the goal unassisted, just a nice fling of the wrist. And he puts the Redwood Giants up early, 1-0 here, with still 7 minutes left to play in the first quarter. And my partner Tommy has checked in.
How's it going?
Tommy, how are you?
Very good.
Did you see that goal there by
No, I just
John
missed
Gibbs?
it. I was just getting my headsets on, but I heard the crowd. They definitely are into this battle.
Yeah, Britton Barge, scoring the first goal in this contest for Redwood to give them the early lead, 1-0. And once again, Redwood's on the attack. This time it's Patrick Tracy circling around the net. And he's being pressured hard by a defender there, that being Quick Gamble from Novato. Back to the top. And now it's Max Friend. And the ball kind of jumbled around, and it looks like Novato will pick it up as they're trying to scoop it. And Redwood causes Novato for another turnover. Novato has not come out of this game looking sharp at all on their home field after the big upset over number 1 seed De La Salle in the semifinal round on Wednesday night. And a timeout will be taken by Novato, and I think that's a wise decision for head coach Marty Jane. Try to settle his troops down and get them refocused here with 6 minutes, 11 seconds left to go in the first period. And with our first timeout break, that'll give us a chance to get our first read in there.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchup like the game you're enjoying here this afternoon? Then sign up your school for the Play on Sports broadcast program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, please go to playonsports.com/SBP.
All right, thank you, Tommy. Like I said, we are live from Novato High School in Novato, California. And they got to this position and really this venue by knocking off the number 1 seeded De La Salle Spartans in the semifinal game on Wednesday night at De La Salle. 12-10 was the score in that one. Novato's record going to 20-4 after that victory. And for Novato, it was the first time that they had ever beaten De La Salle. It was sweet revenge after losing to De La Salle in 2008 in the semifinal round. A 14-3 loss to De La Salle back then when they were the 3 seed and De La Salle was the 2 seed. Novato has regrouped from the timeout as they have the ball in their offensive zone. Passing the ball around as right now they have a man behind the goal who's now reversed his position and has got it back to the top near the 40-yard line. Holding onto the ball is Quinn McCone. He's the younger brother of the star player Max McCone. And Quinn McCone taking a bouncing shot there that misses left and goes out of bounds.
You can quickly see here 2 different type of offensive styles. Redwood more aggressive, fast-paced, while Novato is very slow-paced and looking for that opening for their shot attempt.
Charlie Dalton was looking for someone towards the middle field to play, could not find them. Loose ball scooped up by Novato, nearly turned over there. And a fierce shot there taken by Charlie Curtis. And Curtis could not connect.
Curtis had a defender all over him, so he had to get off a good high shot. Just missed the top of the net.
It's Novato from behind the Redwood blocked net by their goalie, Oliver Madison. Still the ball is in the Novato attacking zone. Great ball movement being displayed. And once again, another shot missing wide and to the right. Tommy Carrasco was the one taking the shot. And so Redwood will have a chance to move up the field. This time it's Patrick Tracy holding on to the ball. Tracy, a junior who has been stellar to say the least in his first 3 years here at Redwood. Just seems like Redwood right now dialing up more plays as well. Another shot in towards the goal. And Cole Akins, big man in goal for Novato, stops it.
Akins looked like he just saw that at the last second, so nice save by him.
Akins, who is committed to Limestone University next year. That's where he will be attending college to continue playing lacrosse. And a nice long pass from Akins over to Max McCone. Ball loose, and tracking it down is going to be Quinn McCone, the younger brother of Max. Quinn going behind the net, now turns to his right. Make that his left. Passing it around, and now the ball's into the hands of Christian Bosley. Head coach Marty Jane saying that Christian Bosley might be the smartest player he's ever coached in lacrosse. Has a really good lacrosse IQ. And right now, Novato's still patient in trying to figure out what kind of shot they want. An errant pass this time from Christian Bosley, intended for Chase Rudy.
He had Rudy open, and if he connected, I think Rudy had a good shot on net there. Costly opportunity there for Novato offensively.
And so Redwood now with the ball. Great deke there by Britton Barge. Barge, who scored the first and only goal in this contest. Scored it for Redwood with 7 minutes and 7 seconds left in the first quarter. There's now 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first period. Barge calling for it, and a yellow flag has been thrown as a goal has been scored, nonetheless. And it's Patrick Tracy coming up with the goal unassisted.
He went around the defense rather easily, got himself squared up right in front of the net, and good low shot that beat the keeper for the goal.
For Patrick Tracy, that is his first goal here today. And it gives the Redwood Giants a 2-0 lead. And some Redwood fans, some girls in the stands really happy. They're wearing the home whites of both Tracy and Matt Kennis, as Redwood donning the visiting dark unis today. Like I said, they're like a charcoal gray color with white numbers outlined in red on the front. Above it, it reads Redwood in plain red font. They are Nike jerseys with the shorts charcoal gray and red stripes running down the sides. Once again, Redwood on the attack as Britton Barge takes a shot and misses high.
Good pass move there by Redwood City, taking it around the perimeter, finding that open man for the shot on net.
And they're still looking for something. Redwood right now at the red line, feeding one in, trying to get a deflection. And so the ball being tipped by Novato, and so once again it'll stay with Redwood. It's Tracy from behind the net. And Tracy scores again. Tracy coming from behind the net after the ball trickled out of bounds off of Novato. He faked as if he was going to pass, went right around the net with a quick shot in on Akins, and he scores his second goal of the contest.
Yeah, really created enough space for himself to get that shot. I love the way he just had great balance. Defense could not move him out of in front of the crease. And that was an easy second goal for Redwood City, for Tracy. And now Redwood City up 3. It's going to be now an uphill battle for Novato to get back into this contest.
And so Redwood now leading 3-0 over the home team, Novato Hornets. And the Giants score once again, making it look very easy right now. This time the goal comes from Liam Burke, a junior defender who raced up out of position to receive the pass and scored a quick one-timer. 4-0, the Giants now lead.
Right off the circle, they came in quickly, got the control of the ball off the circle, and big-time shot from the outside, beat the keeper again, 4-0. They're totally dominating right now, Redwood City.
Yeah, Redwood in complete domination mode, as Tommy alluded to. Novato has just not found an answer to stopping them once they get into the offensive zone. Player loses his stick there for Novato, that being Tommy Carrasco. And Redwood being able to break the defense of Novato. It's Tracy once again with the puck, or with the ball. Scoops it off the ground. Looks in for Nick Jackson. Jackson thought about a shot, and now is trying to get away from a defender. And Jackson passes it over to Carter Kimball. Kimball to the middle of the field. And Joe Perella. Perella, one of the captains on this team, circling around the net. He now finds John Gibbs. Gibbs loses the ball, but it's scooped up by Reagan Kelly. And now Kelly trying to get past the Novato defense. He looks for Tracy behind the net. Tracy, the Joe Thornton of this operation, if you will, if you're familiar with San Jose Sharks hockey. And the first quarter will come to a close with the Redwood Giants in complete domination mode, leading 4-0 here on your home for high school sports, playonsports.com.
Play on Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play on Sports on both Facebook and Twitter, and you can have access to thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
All right, thank you, Tommy. Once again, we'll recap how these two teams got here. First off, I think it's worthy to note that they played each other to determine who would win the title in the Marin County Athletic League. And Novato came out on top. They were the champs as Redwood knocked them off last year. This year, revenge was handled and served by Novato. Novato got the 4 seed. Redwood got the 6 seed. Going into the tournament, Novato was 16-4, Redwood at 15-6. And Novato went on to destroy some teams. In the first round, they defeated Clayton Valley Charter 20-4. Although Clayton Valley Charter was a 13 seed, so not really an upset there. Then they played at home again, this time against fifth-seeded Foothill out of the East Bay Athletic League. A closer game there, but they still were able to get double-digit goals en route to a 10-7 win over the Foothill Falcons. And then on Wednesday night, Novato, with the upset of the tournament, as the 4 seed visiting on the road to the number 1 seeded De La Salle Spartans, who were 14-2 at that point. And in what was a 12-10 win for Novato, upsetting the mighty Spartans to get into this position to host the championship game for the North Coast Section Division I Boys Lacrosse. Had De La Salle gone on to win, that game would have been played in Dublin.
Well, right now, it doesn't look like Redwood City's a 6 seed. They are clearly dominating and keeping it in the offensive end after that first quarter. So right now, they have to change it up, Novato, to get back into this contest. And I think we really have to be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end, take some chances to get downfield.
Talk more about now Redwood, as Tommy alluded to, not playing like a 6 seed is a timeout taken. But Redwood, well, how about this? Get to a read, and then we'll get to how Redwood's path to this point has gotten.
We'll have more live coverage of the North Coast Sectional Championships on Saturday, as well as next week right here on PlayOnSports.com. We'll have live coverage of track tomorrow morning, followed by baseball and softball on May 31st and June 1st. So join us all week for North Coast Section Championships, brought to you by your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
All right, thank you, Tommy. And now to Redwood's journey. They came into the 6th seed with a 15-6 overall record, second place in the Marin County Athletic League. They played their first round game at home against the 11 seed Oak Ridge Trojans, who came out of the Sacramento Lacrosse League. There's a couple teams from Sacramento that got into the North Coast section as they are normal, usual Sac Joaquin section participants, but they don't really have the sport of lacrosse going through all the schools. So some of the teams that do have their own club had to come and play in the North Coast section, those being the Jesuit Marauders, Davis, as well as Granite Bay, the Grizzlies, and the Oak Ridge Trojans. Redwood defeating Oak Ridge 19-3, a blowout win at home back on May 14th. Then in the second round, they took on last year's North Coast Section Division I champion, that being the San Ramon Valley Wolves. At San Ramon Valley, nonetheless, a 6 seed going into San Ramon and knocking off the defending champs as a 3 seed was San Ramon Valley, beating them 11-6 did Redwood. A 5-goal difference there. And then Redwood had to defeat another East Bay Athletic League powerhouse in the Monte Vista Mustangs, same city in San Ramon. And Redwood coming back from a 4-1 deficit in the second quarter to beat Monte Vista 8-6. Probably the second biggest upset in this tournament. Some might view it as the first, but it's hard to beat Novato's upset. And Redwood scores again. As the tables turn here, the rotation turning is Redwood now marching east here for the second quarter. And it's Reagan Kelly getting on the board for the first time for Redwood.
Another tremendous effort there. Again, too much penetration inside Novato's defense, and easy shot there for Kelly as he put it right past the keeper on his stick side for the goal. And man, this is not getting pretty at all. 5-0 here, and we just started basically the second quarter.
5-0 is your score. Novato, Max McCone, who is usually pretty good at winning faceoffs, does win this one. He had a tough time controlling it in general, and now a flag will come out. And so a penalty will be served.
And sometimes this could be expected when you have such an upset, as you said, beating De La Salle, one of the heralded high schools in the state of California. You could tend to come out in your next contest just a little bit flat, but I mean, you did not expect this type of offensive explosion from Redwood this quickly, and they have to pick up the pace, Novato, to get back into this game.
Yeah, one can only wonder if they wasted all their energy in knocking off De La Salle on Wednesday night in the semifinal round. Novato now playing a man down thanks to the penalty. It's a 30-second penalty. I'm sorry, make that Redwood playing a man down.
Nice play by the keeper there to take that ball out of the X zone.
And so now it's Henry Mesker running around with the ball in the defensive zone for Redwood. Ball bounces around and finds the stick of Patrick Tracy. Tracy now at the 40-yard line as he's taking off looking for something good. He goes to the top of the screen and pass to John Gibbs, who then took a shot that went wide right of the net. Scooping up now for Redwood is Reagan Kelly. Kelly gets it back out to Gibbs, who then goes to Perella. Perella to Barge, who goes back to Perella. Perella, a big body, flings a shot in towards the net, takes a couple bounces, and then is scooped up by the Novato goalie, that being Cole Akins. Akins clears it out now. Gets it into the hands of Juan Carlos O'Neill. O'Neill found McCone. McCone then finds Quinn McCone, his younger brother. And it's a McCone show right now. McCone, that being the younger brother Quinn, rifles a shot in towards the goal, and he will miss. And now it'll be little Charlie Curtis moving around with the ball. He slips and falls. Still has it in his stick, however. And Gamble with a shot off the net that does not go in. Make that Charlie Curtis, I'm sorry. Redwood tracks down the ball.
Keeper
now it's a scrum for the ball over there, just near the 40-yard line on the Redwoods defensive area. And the ball squirts out of bounds behind the Redwood goal. 5-0 right now is your score with 8 minutes and 15 seconds left to play here in the second period. It's the 6th-seeded Redwood Giants all over the 4th-seeded and home team Novato Hornets. Both teams out of the Marin County Athletic League, very familiar with each other. And this rivalry has been owned by Redwood. In the last 10 games that they've played each other, Redwood has won 7 of those contests. Redwood with 2 straight wins prior to that game that decided the Marin County Athletic League championship. And now it's Novato into the zone of Redwood. Can they come away with their first goal of this contest? It's Bosley getting it into the stick of Charlie Dalton. Dalton back to Christian Bosley. Bosley here at the bottom of your screen, trying to juke out a defender. And that was Britton Barge, who was all over Bosley. Bosley flung a shot to miss, and now it's Quinn McCone. Quinn McCone gets pressured hard by Matt Kennis. He loses the ball, then tracks it down. And a devastating hit there at the top of your screen. Out near the 15-yard line, and that's going to be an easy penalty against Redwood. Henry Mesker is going to serve a minute penalty after that hit.
Yeah, he sized him up right there, lowered his shoulder, and I think that's why he got the call on. That was intentional. He clearly sized him up about 5 feet out and came in towards the Novato player there with his shoulder lowered.
And so now Novato has the man advantage, as they are just controlling the ball in their offensive zone. It's Quinn McCone. Now on over to Caval. Matt Quall, I'm sorry, is how you pronounce that. Quall looking for Curtis and cannot connect. Curtis tracks down the ball behind the net, and now it's into the hands, or the stick of Quall. Quall for Quinn McCone. Quinn McCone fakes a pass, then shoots the ball, and it is stopped once again by Oliver Madison. Madison has been huge in net so far for Redwood. Hasn't had too much shots come his way, but the shots that he has had come his way have been difficult, and he's been there every time to shut the door on the Novato Hornets.
I like that attempt by McCone. He faked the pass, stepped in towards the crease, and just tried to get a little bit low and could not get it past the keeper on that shot attempt. Now we have a flag here.
And now Novato fans getting kind of anxious here. They want to see their team get on the scoreboard, especially here at home. Novato on the season at home, 11-1. Pretty good record. And so now Novato once again with another opportunity here in their offensive zone. Fans clamping up, stomping their feet up against the bleachers. Could this noise and rumble and thunder create a goal or help towards a goal for the Novato Hornets? And it will not, as the shot does not go the way they were looking for. A loose ball turnover into the hands of Redwood, and there's going to be a penalty against Novato. Number 28, Juan Carlos O'Neal, it looks like, is going to be called for the penalty.
They tried to play catch-up on defense, and I think actually the Redwood player tripped himself up, but Carlos had his stick extended, and I think that's what got the flag.
Max McCone is going to take a breather for Novato, his first rest here in this contest. Max McCone, the star player for Novato, who is committed to the University of California to continue playing his lacrosse. And so for Redwood, they have a two-man advantage. Double man up, as they like to say. 5-on-3. Or make that, I'm sorry, 6-on-4. And an opportunity there for Redwood to really jump out and make this a 6-point ball game. They lose the ball, but they get it right back. And now it's Britton Barge, who has scored a goal already in this contest. Bounces one over to the top. Scooping it up is Perella. Perella back into the hands of Tracy. Great ball movement. Penalties are even now between both squads. And a timeout is taken by Redwood. 5 minutes and 12 seconds left to go here in the second period. And the Redwood Giants enjoying a 5-goal lead.
Stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show where we will select our player of the game. That's coming up. Found the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
All right. Thank you, Tommy. Some quotes to take away from those semifinal games. First off, in the Redwood game, it was all about Patrick Tracy. Him and Max Friend getting scoring done in the final 2 minutes to help their Redwood team advance to this championship game tonight after beating Monte Vista 8-6. Like I said, the Giants trailed 4-1 in the second quarter before mounting this comeback. Joe Perella led Redwood with 3 goals. Redwood's head coach David Gross saying this about the game. He said, quote, "I don't know if it was our best game, but it was our best win. Coming back like that shows a lot of grit. I'm so proud of their heart. That was the difference." End quote. And I did talk to him before the game, and he said that heart was going to be a big factor on if his boys were going to win the game. I always ask the age-old question I try to ask it after every interview pregame of what it's going to take for the team of the coach that I'm interviewing to come away with the championship or to win in whichever game I'm broadcasting. And David Gross, quick to point out heart as the number one trait that his Redwood Giants were going to need in order to score the victory today and bring home the first ever Division I lacrosse championship for the school of Redwood. no matter who wins tonight, this is going to be the first ever championship for a school outside of the East Bay. No North Bay team has ever won a North Coast Section Division I Boys Lacrosse Championship. Some fighting over the ball there behind the net net manned by Oliver Madison for Redwood. And Redwood will now come out of their defensive zone, trying to get the ball past midfield. They have 10 seconds to do so, and they do. And before passing the ball off, J.P. Josie was checked at midfield.
He got stood up nicely there by the Novato defender.
Tracy, could he have his third goal of the contest? Well, he won't right there as he is pummeled to the ground by number 10, that being Greg Carroll. Carroll, who Marty Jane described as the best defender. He doesn't really check guys all too much, but he's always there in position to harass the best scorers for the other team. And that was no different in that case, as Carroll did a great job of playing on Tracy. But it's Redwood with a bouncing shot there that almost goes in. The ball goes over the net. Cole Aikens trying to scoop it up, the goalie for Novato. Clock stops with 3 minutes and 42 seconds as there was I don't know if you'd call it jump ball in lacrosse, but it was pretty much a possession issue of who it was going to go to, and the referee signaling that the possession was going to go back to Redwood. And now it's Max Friend for Redwood, the semifinal hero against Monte Vista, circling in the long red socks, looking for someone, but the ball was eventually taken away by Novato's own number 7, that being Max McCone. McCone looking for someone. I thought he was going to take the shot. It looked like he had a pretty good angle at the net, but instead playing the team player out, trying to get it to Liam Burke. I'm sorry, not Liam Burke. That being Henry Dalton. And now it's Quinn McCone. Quinn McCone racing by the 30-yard line, trying to get past Britton Burge. And Quinn McCone gets the Hornets on the board as he scores the first goal in wraparound fashion.
McCole did an excellent job doing a 360 move on the defender, stepping back away from him, and that forced the defender to become almost as a blocking the view of the keeper there in front of him, and that allowed McComb to beat him on the outside in the post area as the keeper reacted way late after the ball passed him for that goal. So a little momentum change here for Novato. Let's see if they can act on this and maybe get another score here before we head to half.
Novato's first goal coming just under 3 minutes in the second period at home as the higher seed nonetheless. Fans getting quite rowdy after they finally saw their team get on the board, getting the loud Hornets chant going. But look, right away after that, they simply lose focus, and Redwood nearly got a goal. Luckily, Cole Aikens did not lose focus, the goalie for Redwood. But then, right as I say that, he has a bad pass. Took his eye off the ball. Didn't even look like he saw a defender, just passed one out. And Redwood takes advantage. And Tracy, now with a hat trick on the day. Patrick Tracy scores his third goal and puts the Redwood Giants back up by 5. 6-1 is your score.
Yeah, he may not be the biggest or the tallest player, but he's definitely the best player on the field right now, as he's elusive behind the X zone and gets out in front and really creates a lot of space for himself. And that's how he got that hat trick right there. He did it all on himself, just eluding the multiple defenders. They get a clean shot on the crease, and he beat him easily with that pinpoint accurate shot.
And the Redwood fans rivaling back with their own chant with the Redwood. They're saying to the Novato fans, anything you could do, we could do better. As their team has clearly looked better in what is a 6-1 score here, with precious time ticking away in the second quarter before halftime. We're now under 2 minutes left to play. A scrum for the ball there as a player loses his stick for Novato. That is going to be number 16, Charlie Curtis. And still players fighting for the ball. It's finally picked up by Christian Bosley, and Bosley being harassed right near the out-of-bounds line. And Bosley not quite happy about what was going on. He nearly stepped all over Matt Kennis, one of the short defenders for Redwood, donning the number 21 jersey, and a timeout is finally taken. I think, Tommy, that's a good timeout to kind of ease the tempers a little bit.
Yeah, they needed it. I mean, Novato got that goal to try to get themselves back in the game, but Redwood answered perfectly with Tracy's hat-trick goal, and the momentum again back on Redwood. And, that lone goal by Novato, this looks like a blip on the screen. I mean, not a whole lot of – that's really the only emotion I've seen thus far from Novato right there by their defender, as he took on two Redwood incoming players that were trying to aggressively take the ball away from him, and he got his elbows high and knocked one over, and as he said, had to step over the other before the timeout was called. And they need a little bit more fiery play like that to get back into this game. I mean, they've clearly laid an egg here in the first half.
They have. They have not come out sharp at all. Cole Akins has made some bad passes, I think, from the goal position. Hasn't really looked around to which player he's trying to get it to. He just kind of flings it out there and has turned the ball over. You really have to credit that to the, I think you brought it out best, just a style of play that Redwood brings. They bring that more hounding and attacking style of play.
Yeah.
And their defense clearly has showed it here as they have really kind of made Novato uneasy most of this game.
Yeah, he's when he comes out of his crease, like you're saying, I agree with you. They're attacking him, and it really cuts down his lanes to see where he can outlet the ball to move it upfield. And if he doesn't have that comfortable ability, and he's really compressed, and then he could be really compromised, and then he can throw the ball and create a turnover, and then that leaves him out of position and an easy shot on the crease.
Oliver Madison with another brilliant save for the Giants. As more and more fans start piling in here to the field on the campus of Novato High School in Novato, California, North Bay. It was about an hour and a half drive out from my neck of the woods in Brentwood. And Quinn McCone nearly had his second goal of the game, just missed, and was displeased with this shot there. He thought he had a good look. Novato still contains the ball, or retains possession of the ball. And this time it was Charlie Dalton looking for the quick wraparound shot. He could not find success.
Yeah, I like that attempt. The minute he got around the crease area, he took that low shot. A little bit wide, but I like the effort right there.
Charlie Curtis started with the ball at the top corner there in the shade, and then was shoved hard to the ground, couldn't get a shot off. Loose ball now will go out of bounds off of Novato. Tracking it down for Redwood is Carl Mesker, the junior defenseman, 5'10", 180 pounds. So Mesker to take it out. Redwood wearing the white helmets with the red R logo on it. As for Novato, their helmets are black and gold. Black face mask with a gold N and then a number in gold on the other side. Novato has their logo N beneath their numbers on the back of their jerseys. And right now it's Redwood with the possession of the ball in their offensive zone, putting pressure on Cole Akins, making him look around and back and forth. And finally, Novato looks like they might have come up with the turnover. And they did. It's Quinn McComb. Long-range shot before the clock expires. No good. And so the first half has come to a close here in the North Coast section Division I Boys Lacrosse Championship game with the visiting 6-seeded Redwood Giants all over their league rivals, the 4th-seeded Novato Hornets, by a score of 6-1. Tommy and I are going to give you our take of the first half, and we'll also try to bring up some cool stories that I heard about, especially when you talk about Redwood's Tracy and Burke, two of the guys that have played a big part in this game, each scoring a goal. But we'll get to that all in just a couple seconds, folks. Don't go anywhere here. Keep it locked on your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com. All right, folks, Michael K. Smith, a.k.a. Mike on the Mic, back with you here for the halftime show. PlayOnSports.com's coverage of the 2013 North Coast Section Division I Boys Lacrosse Championships, live from Novato High School in Novato, California. The halftime score, the Redwood Giants, the 6th-seeded visiting school, right now with a big-time lead over the hometown higher seed, the 4th-seeded Novato Hornets, by a score of 6-1. My broadcast partner, Tommy, is going to join me here in just a couple seconds. The scoring has really been dominant in this game. And it all got started with Britton Burge, scoring the first goal. Patrick Tracy then came around to score the next two. And I believe the final score at the end of the first period would end 3-0.
You're exactly right.
And then after that, they would get goals from all over the place by Reagan Kelly, Liam Burke, and then again Patrick Tracy, who now has 3 goals on the contest to get their 6. And like I said, Novato was held scoreless at home on their own field in the first period, but then they came back to finally get a goal, and it was Quinn McCone, not Max McCone. Most people would have thought Max, the highly touted brother of the two, the senior that will be going on to play California, but it was actually little brother Quinn that scored the first and only goal for Novato in the second quarter, and to get his team on the board, give him a little momentum. But right after he scored, that's when Patrick Tracy came back around and got the quick goal to kill the momentum. I mean, it was 5-0, and then Quinn got that goal to make it 5-1. You're starting to think, okay, maybe Novato's going to mount something here, but Patrick Tracy sure put an end to that momentum.
Oh, that killed them so badly, and Tracy, that was a big-time goal, as you said, and helped them out a lot. And
sorry for the static there, folks.
Got the momentum back, and hopefully, we'll see what comes out. Novato has to come out, and I think get ultra aggressive to get back into this game.
Yeah, I just want to know, what are your keys to the game? What did you see that you liked from both squads, and what did you see in particular from Novato that they're going to have to work on in order to come away with the victory here, Tommy?
Well, they got to be more active offensively and really set the tempo. And the one thing that I think the other Redwood City has to be afraid of is don't get too complacent with this 5-goal lead. Still be ultra aggressive and go towards that net and make sure that you can get good shots on the crease.
Speaking of getting good shots on the crease, Max McCone thought he had a good look there. The ball just bouncing in front of the net and missing, and then it does get it in. This time the goal is put in by number 12. We don't have a number for that. It looks like it is going to be Charlie Curtis who will get credit with the goal there for Novato. So a very quick goal to open off the second half, third quarter, with Novato now marching eastward here to start the third quarter, and it's now a 6-2 score. Now only a 4-goal game.
And that's what they needed right there to get that goal. Get that quick goal, make it a 4-goal advantage, and Novato had to come out and say, let's get it one at a time. You can't get all 4, obviously, right away. There's no 4-goal opportunity. So get one at a time, cut the lead down, and gain that momentum, and get yourself back into this contest.
And as I was handing out some of our Play on Sports information cards to fans out there at halftime, that was kind of the overall consensus I was getting from both teams. I was getting, of course, Novato's fans saying that even though we came out flat, we don't feel that this game is over by any stretch of the means. And the same sentiments were said by Redwood fans. They said they were very happy with the 6-1 lead that they built up at halftime, but they said that this game is nowhere near over, and all it could take is a quick lapse of realizing where you are for Redwood, and Novato can get right back in this game. And it seems like that's what happened there, as Novato just came away and started the third quarter with a mission in mind, and Max McCone nearly had a goal to start things off.
Well, you know, Michael K. Any coach is fearful of complacency, especially with a big lead. You don't like the big lead, especially in championship games.
That is indeed. There we go. Yeah, you're right about that, Tommy. Redwood losing composure just a little bit, and it let Novato get kind of back into this contest for the moment, although Redwood now with some offensive pressure. It's Tracy from behind the net, finding a teammate who swings it back out to the top in number 41, that being Joe Perella, I'm sorry. Perella back into the net of Tracy, the stick of Tracy. Burge took a shot from about the 25-yard line, just right of the net, and had a little bit too much mustard on his shot as it goes wide left. And so now it's Novato making ways up the field. It's Matt Quall with the ball. And Quall tries to throw it in to Charlie Dalton. Dalton could not corral the high pass attempt. It goes back to Quall. Quall working up against number 10 for Redwood. That's going to be John Gibbs. And now the ball's into the hands of Charlie Dalton. Dalton passing it around. And now it's Carrasco. Tommy Carrasco trying to make his way towards the net. Carrasco with the bouncing shot, which is corralled by Oliver Madison. Madison has looked so strong in goal today. Has made a lot of key saves. And clearly, he is winning the goalie battle between him and Aiken. I'm sorry, Aikens. Redwood with some pressure once again. This time, it's Britton Burge controlling the ball. And now Burge goes out to Max Friend, his captain. Friend finds Tracy behind the net. And Tracy gets it back into Burge's net. Or Burge's stick, I'm sorry. Burge trying to deke Danny Eggert for Novato and find a way to score a goal. He couldn't get a shot off. It'll be Novato's ball, make that Redwood, I'm sorry, with the inbounds pass from below and to the left of your screen. Inbounding it for Redwood was Nick Jackson. Some of the second teamers right now out there for Redwood, and a turnover is caused as JP Josie couldn't quite control the ball, and now it's Novato on the attack. Novato on the move. For Novato, Juan Carlos O'Neill looking for somebody. Now he drops back in defense and is going to let his offense handle it. Right now, it's Charlie Curtis wearing the number 12 jersey instead of number 16 today. Gets it into the hands of Christian Bosley. Bosley going from right to left to the top of the screen. Shot on goal, no good, as Madison right there to eat it up. The goalie for Redwood, who has been so huge today in net for the Giants. He's really been a giant in the net. And now it's Tracy looking around. Really good ball movement being displayed by Redwood. However, they have not gotten a goal out of all this passing. They've had a couple shots. This time it's Cole Aikens coming up large in goal for Novato. Cole Aikens with a good pass out to Danny Eggert. Eggert turns the ball over after great defensive pressure by Redwood. And a near opportunity there for Redwood as Reagan Kelly had a beat on the defense of Novato, got Cole Aikens in really bad position, and tried to go for the high shot in towards the net there and missed. And now it's John Gibbs. In for Tracy. Tracy with the high pass to the point. In towards Perella. Perella goes back to Tracy behind the goal, and Tracy has the pass deflect off his stick and out of bounds. It'll be the Hornets' ball.
He showed that he's mortal there by losing the ball in the X zone behind the crease there as he just mishandled the ball off that pass.
Just under 7 minutes left to play here in the third period. 6-2 is the score. Redwood has been held scoreless here to start the third quarter. Meanwhile, Novato scored a quick goal after trailing by 5 at half to now only being down by 4. And that goal came off the stick of Charlie Curtis. It's Bosley with a couple spin moves. Still has the ball. Bouncing shot off the foot, or legs, I'm sorry, of Oliver Madison. Once again, Madison in the right place at the right time in goal for Redwood.
Yeah, he read that pass and shot attempt all the way. Great play by Madison there.
And it's Redwood once again on the attack. Ball put on the ground. Trying to scoop it up for Redwood and cannot do so was Carter Kimball. He loses the ball. Novato now picks it up. It's Max McCone. Max McCone past midfield. Fans for Novato's side anxiously anticipating what could be. They're making some noise. They think this could be a great opportunity for Novato, as now rocking around with the ball, or jogging around with the ball, now picking up his pace is Tommy Carrasco. Carrasco with a shot left as he was on the right side of the net. Flung a bouncing shot in just in front of the 30-yard line. His shot going way left and missing. However, Novato still keeps possession of the ball. This time it's Max McCone working up against Britton Burge. McCone passes it on over to Carrasco. Carrasco now at the point surveying the field. He wants something to go to. He wants a really good look. He's going to take it off with it himself. And Carrasco with another shot that misses, this time wide right as he circled around to the left side of the field, top part of your screen, and could not get the shot to go. However, Novato still has the ball. They're doing a good job of keeping the ball in their offensive zone and getting good looks, but they cannot come up with any goals. Ball turned over, and now it's a breakaway for the Redwood Giants. It's Tracy on over to number 5, that being Nick Jackson, whose shot misses.
Great feed by Tracy to Jackson. He went on the short side and just missed that inside post.
Redwood will still keep control of the ball. Once again, just moving the ball around, taking as much time off the clock as they can before they look for a great opportunity, a great chance to score a goal. Tracking down the loose ball for Redwood there was Nick Jackson. Jackson gets it into Parker Tracy, who takes a mental lapse but then regains focus and picks up the loose ball as he was being played tough by Quint Gamble. And now it's John Gibbs, who's going to have to take a shot pretty quick, being worked on by Charlie Dalton.
Score.
And John Gibbs gets a goal.
Great move by Gibbs. He went left to right in the offensive zone, went to the spot that he wanted, he desired, and took that open shot on crease. Atkins had no chance to make that save as Redwood keeps on piling on the goals here. It's now 7-2.
And the Redwood champ picking up here, and reasonably so, as Redwood has built their lead back up to 5 points, 7-2. Now the score here in the third quarter with 4 minutes left to play. For Gibbs, that was his first goal of the contest, as he had it easy pickings, getting right around the defender, Charlie Dalton. Almost looked like how LeBron took it to the lane in Game 1 for that final shot against the Pacers in overtime.
Yeah, exactly. Gibbs again went right through that defense and really knew exactly where he wanted to shoot the ball. And man, he made an excellent low shot. Atkins had no chance. Frustrating for Novato. They had a little momentum, but they clearly lost it. And I think you made a good point, Michael K. They had good penetration inside the offensive zone. Just didn't get any good, solid shots on the crease. Often wide, either left or to the right. Nothing solid on the crease to make Madison work and possibly leave a rebound in front for a forward to get into the goal.
And once again, Redwood on the attack. They're looking for their largest lead of the game. If they were to score here, a 6-point goal would be the largest deficit. Right now, where it stands is the largest deficit at 5 goals. At one point in time, Redwood was up by a score of 5-0. And now they're up by a score of 7-2. Further increasing their lead, and it's Gibbs again. Gibbs firing a fierce bullet from the bottom left towards the top right of your screen. What a shot by John Gibbs, and he is really gaining momentum now with his shot and his confidence. His second goal of the game, second in just under a minute or two here in this third quarter. Gibbs coming alive, and now it's the largest lead for Redwood as they now lead by a score of 8-2 over the home team, Novato.
Yeah, great pass from behind the crease in the X spot as they got it out to Gibbs, and Gibbs one-timed it right into the crease, as he said, with a good high shot to the right corner, and really no chance for Atkins to have any type of reaction time, as that had to be a perfect pass, and it was, and here comes Redwood City once again on the offensive side.
And this can't be how Novato envisioned this game going, especially at home as the higher seed and the team that won the league title this year. Their biggest nightmare unfolding in front of their eyes as Redwood once again is now in attack mode. A close shot on goal, and it is put in goal by Patrick Tracy, who now has scored his fourth goal in this game.
Again, great penetration inside in front of the crease, and really has that defense baffled. I mean, they're right in front with Atkins, the keeper, trying to find out what can they change to kind of slow this offensive juggernaut down a bit. And then they can't, because Tracy, again, just slips through a couple of defenders, gets a good open shot, low shot inside the goal for an easy one.
9-2 is now the score.
The route is on. Another goal, number 5.
And another goal. Took my eye off the ball there. It's Nick Jackson with his first goal of the game. And now Redwood is into double digits, 10 points on the day, as they lead now by a score of 10-2 over the Novato Hornets, who seem baffled and confused and without any kind of answer.
Yeah, once again, Tracy gets it off in the offensive zone, worked his way into the middle. Defense converge on him. He does a soft pass to Jackson, who one-times it by the left shoulder of Atkins for the goal. And they're making it look easy right now. 10-2, Redwood all over Novato.
For Redwood, a lot of these boys have grown up together, not only amongst themselves, but also with their coach, David Gross, who is in their third season. So he really took over this program with a lot of these juniors starting to play lacrosse at the high school level as freshmen. Most notably, Patrick Tracy, who is a junior and has made all-league every year since his freshman year, his first year, playing at the high school level, and that was the first year for head coach David Gross. Now it's Burge converging in on the net, finding Tracy. Tracy back behind the net, who looks for other players to spread the ball around to. This time it's Perella making moves towards the net. Perella thought about taking a shot, but then reversed direction and got it back to the point in Burge. Burge now into the hands of Gibbs. Gibbs, who already has 2 goals in this quarter, trying to remain hot. And a pass from Tracy on towards Reagan Kelly, and Kelly's shot misses wide. Reagan Kelly, who already has a goal in this contest as well. And I'm surprised no slashing penalty called there, as Nick Jackson took a slash at the legs of Danny Eggert for Novato. Novato now with the first time that they've had the ball in their offensive zone for a long time. And once again, could not come up with anything. Loose ball turnover into the hands of Redwood. It's Tracy back for Jackson, who then looks for Kelly, and Reagan Kelly scores his second goal of the contest. And the lead just continuing to grow for the Redwood Giants. 11-2 is now your score.
Great spacing between Tracy, Jackson, and the goal scorer, Kelly, as they worked it nicely here on the left side. Allowed Kelly to circle around to the far right, then work his way behind the defense in front of the crease. And nice smooth pass by Jackson to Kelly, who one-timed it past Akins for the 11th goal of the game for Redwood. They're making it look too easy.
Clock now at 9 seconds left here in the third quarter as the ball goes out of bounds, and they will now resume in just a bit. Oh, there's an injured player on the field for Novato. Limping off the field is Christian Bosley. That does not look good for Novato. And now some jawing of words between McCone and a couple players for Redwood as frustration starting to settle in before the fourth quarter resumes, or before the fourth quarter begins, I should say, as the third quarter has come to an end here in this 2013 North Coast Section Division I Boys Lacrosse Championship game, which right now has the word rout written all over it, with the Redwood Giants leading by 9, 11-2, here on your home for high school sports, playonsports.com.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here this afternoon? Then tell your school to sign up for Play on Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, please go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Thank you, Tommy. Talked about how these guys have played together, in particular Patrick Tracy and Liam Burke, who have been stellar today for Redwood. Patrick Tracy with 4 goals on the day has also been a big-time assist man, looking for guys from behind the net. Burke with a goal in his own right. And they've been playing lacrosse since they were in the 3rd grade. And they haven't stopped playing together yet. You think about what it's going to be like next year when these guys are seniors and how dangerous they can be. And this is what Tracy had to say about the two playing and coming back to try to defend their MCAL crown. This was back a couple days ago. He said, in a way, we met expectations last year. We wanted to go far in NCS, but we still have a chip on our shoulder. We want to win MCAL again, even though we know how hard it is to repeat, and that's why we stay so focused. I'm sorry, that's what he said before the season, as Patrick Tracy committed to play at the University of Brown. Burke, who made a verbal commitment to play Division I lacrosse at the University of Michigan in 2015, as they both started playing in the 3rd grade on the Grizzlies of the Ross Valley Lacrosse Club. And this is what they had to say about their relationship as Redwood trying to get the ball out of their zone, out of their defensive zone.
Novato getting aggressive now, trying to cause a turnover there. Could not, as an excellent execution by Redwood City to cross it far side and get it out of the zone.
But I like this. This is what Burke said about playing with Tracy. He said, on a fast break, when I'm bringing it up, I know he's going to be in spot X. He maneuvers well and has his ways of getting open. He knows how to find me too. And them boys have looked in sync. Kind of remind me of the brothers that I have seen in hockey over the past couple years, the Sedin twins. And I know they're not brothers, but they have that kind of telepathy in which they play as if they were twin brothers on the field. Loose ball turnover, and now it's Novato. Max McCone has been very silent today for Novato. Has yet to score a goal.
You'd be scared if they started to dress alike, not being brothers.
Yeah, right? I'm sure they probably listen to the same music.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows if they watch the same TV programs? That is yet to be determined. But I do know this. Like I said, Max McCone has been very silent, and this is a guy who garnered a lot of praise throughout his career here with Novato. As a junior last year, had 42 goals, 18 assists, won 67% of his faceoffs.
Kelly with another goal.
And Reagan Kelly scores again for Redwood.
Yeah, loose ball out in front there, Michael Kay, and Atkins tried to attempt to pick it up, could not. Kelly right on the spot, picked it up high over the outreach goalkeeper's shoulder, right shoulder, and in for the goal. Another one. I think that's his third, if I'm not mistaken, for Kelly on the afternoon.
That is his third. A hat trick for Reagan Kelly after the loose ball turnover creates a fast break opportunity and chance and score for the Redwood Giants, who have now further increased their lead to the largest lead of the contest, a 10-point lead. It was something else when they first got into double digits with goals. Now it is a whole nother subject with them leading by double-digit goals. 12-2 is your score. We still have 9 minutes and 35 seconds left, and so a scoring barrage can take place at any time for Novato. We're just waiting for that time to happen.
Yeah,
I'm sure all the fans here are waiting for that time.
Excuse me. I just want to get back to your point you were making about the senior for Novato McCune. That is frustrating, especially when your high school career is going to end really on a sour note like this. And just being a hero player, and as you said, their defense has basically swallowed them up here on the offensive end. Not really, you haven't called his name much at all in this contest. So, tough breaks for the young kid, but he's got to, kind of just look back and not look at this game as a meaning to his high school career. Go through the whole 4 years and just getting to this point. He has to be awful proud, I think, to beat one of the top schools, as I said earlier, in California, in the state of California, De La Salle. And then just look at overall his 4 years here in Novato and not kind of sour on this end here against Redwood City.
You have to give McCone a lot of credit. He's tried to do all he can today. He has come up short on a couple tries, and a lot of that really hasn't been his fault, as it's been more stellar defense played on him and terrific goalkeeping by Oliver Madison. But I'm sure if you were to take a bet prior to the game on who would score a goal first between younger brother Quinn McCone and the senior older brother Max McCone, I'm sure anyone would have taken Max McCone without a doubt, without any kind of hesitation. But that is not to be. It has been Quinn McCone, the younger brother, who has scored a goal. Scored the first one in this contest for Novato. The other goal was scored by Charlie Curtis.
And somebody got on the board there for Novato, trying to get that number 9. Nice play.
Matt Quall scoring his first goal there for Novato, and they finally do get on the board once again. It had been a long time. It had been since early in the third quarter when they scored.
Novato tried to throw the ball in front of the crease. Didn't see Quall's number, but he got himself in between two defenders. Picked that loose ball up and one timed it past the keeper for the third goal of the game for Novato.
The fans trying to get the Let's Go Hornets chant growing louder and louder, and Novato at least closing the deficit to where it is not double digits anymore. Curtis bouncing one in towards the net, and that misses wide and to the right. Curtis standing at the bottom of your screen near the 20-yard line marker at the moment. Novato still has the ball. Another big-time shot over the shoulder from Quall, and he cannot connect. 7.5 minutes left to play here in this 2013 North Coast Section Division I Boys Lacrosse Championship. And McCone finally does get on the board. Max McCone, the team leader, the do-it-all guy, the guy that they've been waiting for to get on the board. I've been waiting for to get on the board after reading all about him in preparation for this game. And he finally does get a shot to go in past Oliver Madison. And so now, a little bit, just a tiny bit of momentum. The door is cracked open just a bit for the Novato Hornets. 2 quick goals here within the last 3 minutes have now made this a 12-4 game. McCone winning the faceoff, falling to the ground, still keeping possession of the ball after a couple slips and trips, and now McCone looks hurt as he is hobbled near the 40-yard line.
Yeah, he took a slash on the top of the knee there. Could be just a mild Charlie horse. He wants to get off the field. Allow a healthy player to get back out there.
Charlie Curtis, his teammate, came over to ask if he was okay, And yeah, like you said, Tommy, we don't know if it's a Charlie horse or not. Whatever the case, McCone, very quick limp to get off the field and get attended to by the training staff.
Yeah. Bittersweet moment for him to get that goal, the senior. So the McCone fan club can be happy that he got on the ball.
And what else is new? It's Redwood scoring, and this time in very impressive fashion, as it was Britton Burge, with his second goal of the game, this time in a very cool fashion as he ran in towards the net and just made that shot kind of behind his back as he was still running to his right. He kind of put that shot on towards his left side. A no-look shot there from Britton Burge.
Well, he had a tough angle because he had to slice through two defenders and come back, as you said, to his left to get that shot off. He went across his body and got a good, nice, low shot that was not be able to be handled by Atkins, the keeper. And, boy, they just show you a lot of moves offensively, this Redwood City team. And that's what I'm going to come away in this game. They're really, really good offensively. And they set up a pace that's almost frenetic and really hard for defense to match for all four quarters.
Britton Burge slicing through that Hornets defense like a hot knife through butter.
Right.
Or should I say a knife through hot butter?
Yeah.
Either way, he made that look very easy. And Burge, once again, is the man with the ball. He passes it over to his teammate, that being Perella. Perella back to the top side of the screen. And now it's Tracy from behind the net maneuvering and finding.
Looks almost
Burge.
like a four corners here, just trying to kill the clock out until they get their advantage.
Burge in for Perella. Perella's shot had a lot of zip on it, but Cole Akins in great position to make the save for Novato. And now here come the Hornets back the other way. It's McCone back out onto the field for Novato after shaking off that injury moments ago. And not only is he on the field, but he tried to give his team another goal. He couldn't quite connect on the shot. One-time shot on goal there from that being Henry Dalton, I believe, and he could not come up with it.
And McCone right there rushed his shot. He created a little space for himself right in front of the crease, and then kind of rushed his shot. But I think that's from the afternoon of just being harassed by this defense. And there goes a goal.
Yeah, and it's Charlie Curtis with his now second goal of the game. The assist will go to Charlie Dalton. And the score is now 13-5 in favor of the Redwood Giants.
Yeah, the outcome's academic, but as you said, just kind of get a little momentum, and for some of these players just trying to play for next year for Novato and try to get this quickly, leave on a positive note here, maybe get a little effort here in the waning minutes here of the fourth quarter and kind of get ready for next year.
I think you have to really give a lot of props to Novato just for how they've played this year in particular with a new head coach in Marty Jane after there had been some problems with coaches in the past, especially last year when Mike Rudy took over the program after a coaching switch was made by school administration early in the season. And then after he took over, he was arrested days before the start of the playoffs after the traumatized war veteran took a hostage and had a standoff with police. And even with all that drama and bad news that surrounded the publicity that surrounded the team, Novato was still able to make it to the MCAL championship game before losing to Redwood. And then Jane, who is a lifelong coach and graduate of the Positive Coaching Alliance program, who once played for Novato in the late 1970s and coached the program until the early 2000s, came back in and said, you know what, I think it's time for me to take over this program, show them what a true role model and good coach can be like. He's a guy that a lot of the players knew from the club ranks. He was a popular club coach in the area. And he said, I was really impressed with this group of kids. That's part of the reason why I wanted to come back to the Novato program. As for, he said, the credit and how the boys did last year and this year, he says all the credit goes to the players. And talking about McCone, he said he knows what he is doing. Or, I'm sorry, McCone having this to say about what they've been through in the last couple of years. He said, first off, quote, "I'm proud of my teammates and how far we've come. We preserved through it all last year. We had 4 different coaches in the last 2 years, and that's been stabilized. Now we're seeing what we can do when we get used to a true style of play," talking about the style of play that they've now learned under Marty Jane this year. And then he said this about Marty Jane. After Jane said all the credit goes to the players, McCone said, "Nuh-uh." He said, "It's all about our coach. He knows what he is doing. He has our respect, and the transition has been smooth. Our team has always been known for its athleticism. Jane has molded us from athletes into lacrosse players. He has brought fluidity to our game. Real lacrosse is fast-paced, and that's how the game should be played, and that's how we play now."
Yeah, it looked like he, he looked like he brought some stability into the team, and that's all you can ask for from a coach, especially with that many amount of coaching changes.
For Max, it has also been special because he has played his first full season with his younger brother Quinn. That's the first time they've ever done that in their brothership, brotherhood, whatever you want to call it. 2 brothers playing together for the first time in a full season. Never done that up until this year.
And that's got to be nice for the family to kind of celebrate that as a group.
Oh, yeah, with both of them getting a goal here in Novato's first ever appearance in a championship game. You got to love that. Score still remains 13-5 with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left.
McCone right there again with the goal.
And Max McCone now tied with Charlie Curtis for the team lead. 2 goals on the afternoon. And McCone trying to go out on his terms here in what is going to be his final game in the high school ranks before he moves on to play collegiately at Cal. Talking about working with his brother, he said, quote, "We have that chemistry. I've been watching him play since he was little." This of what Max is saying about Quinn. Quinn was called up to the varsity for the end of last season. He said, "We really work well together." As for citing the play of Greg Carroll and Quint Gamble, Max McCone said this: "Our defense is playing great, and offensively, Charlie Curtis has been so good this season." Curtis, who has 2 goals as well. Chase Rudy, who's just a freshman, has been really effective scoring.
Yep. On that last McCone goal, that was the first time I saw a breakdown on the Redwood City defense. Allowed him to get an opening, and he really created great space for himself right in the middle of the crease. Took a shot around a little bit past the 30-yard line on the football field there at Novato High Field, and took a good low shot that beat the keeper easily.
And Redwood, maybe just for this fourth quarter, starting to kind of lose focus. Maybe they felt like they had this one wrapped in the bag with a 10-goal lead here to start the fourth quarter, as Tracy with a horrible pass just moments ago.
But we talked about it at the start of this second half. You know, that's the biggest thing, the complacency and just losing concentration after that dominant first half. And it stayed, as you said, through the third quarter. But right here in the fourth, you've seen that little lax in concentration. Not as crisp passes as it was in the early part of the game.
And right now it's Redwood on the attack once again. This time Reagan Kelly rotating the ball around.
Really, you saw a lot of one-on-one play with Tracy and Kelly and others. And now you've seen that more nice fluid passing that they've had when to extend that lead that they had from the first period on.
Britton Burge behind the net, wrapping around, looking for someone. He finds Reagan Kelly. And Kelly's shot hits the piping of the net there and will miss.
Yeah, right up top. Good shot by Kelly right there. Almost had a goal there.
It'll be deflected off Novato and out of bounds. And so, J.P. Josie now working against a Novato defender. Can J.P. Josie get his first goal of the game? He tried as he tried to go for the high goal over Akins. Akins got his stick up in just the right amount of time. And look at Akins, the big boy, coming out from the goal. The fans loving it as the senior goalie was trying to look for his own opportunity. He was racing up the field, tiptoeing the sidelines, and was finally pushed out of bounds by Reagan Kelly.
2 more defenders, and he would have went one-on-one with the other keeper.
Cole Akins, the goalie. And Reagan Kelly passing that ball from down on his back as he gets it out to Max Friend. Friend, a captain on his team, who has been more of a role player today. Hasn't scored any goals, but he has been there to help facilitate the ball, keep things even-keeled for his Redwood Giants. And now Patrick Tracy, high pass up towards Reagan Kelly, who does corral it with the stick and goes back to Tracy. Tracy being pressured by 3 defenders as he circles around the net. Now gets it back into the hands of Max Friend. Friend at the top of your screen, looking for something or someone to go to. Friend finally passes it off to, that being number 41, Perella. Perella rotating around with the ball once again in his stick. Defenders for Novato continue to chase him. And now he gets it into the hands of Reagan Kelly. And really, it's just ball movement at this point in time for Redwood as the clock is under a minute. It's at 42 seconds to be exact. And now it's Novato making their way up the field. Can they get another late goal here? As they have a one-on-one opportunity, and they do score! It's Charlie Curtis with his 3rd goal for Novato. That now takes the team lead in goals today and makes the score 13-7.
Yeah, once they got the ball about midfield, Novato showed great movement offensively, and that's probably the game plan, Michael K., that they had coming into this contest because they moved it up quickly. And as he said, Curtis came streaking in on the left side and beat the keeper to the inside post for the goal.
And why couldn't they have done that all game? It looked effective here. Maybe, like I said, maybe Redwood just acknowledging that they have the game locked in the bag. As a flag flies late here with 23.2 seconds left. We'll see who the penalty is going to go against.
Redwood, it looks like.
A slashing call against Redwood. And so that means Novato will have a man up here to try to get another goal. Like I said, I don't think they're going to score 6 goals in 20 seconds, but this is all for respect now at this point. And Redwood fans already starting to get ready to rush the field, or at least get their cameras ready to take pictures of the trophy presentation.
If they score 6, you got yourself a headline.
Yeah, right? They score 6. I don't even know what I'll say at that point. That might be the only time you could shut Mike on the mic up. Because I will literally be speechless at that point.
And we don't want that.
No, you don't want that. Everyone loves the smooth-sounding voice of me. And the clock has ticked down to zeros, and the Redwood Giants of the Marin County Athletic League win their first ever boys lacrosse championship in school history. It's the first ever in league history for the Marin County Athletic League, the first ever for the region's history, as the North Bay will now add one of their schools to the list of champions in the sport of lacrosse in the North Coast section. The final score here from Novato High School, 13-7 in favor of the 6-seeded Redwood Giants. That's right, the 6-seeded Redwood Giants are your 2013 North Coast section Division I boys lacrosse champions. And now they will celebrate right in front of their fans, holding their banner. It's the senior captain, Perella, all fired up. And now other members will grab a hold of the banner as well. Talked to David Gross before the game, and I said, how special was it, David, for you to have to knock off 2 East Bay Athletic League teams en route to getting to this point, changing course of where this game was played? And he said, you know, all the credit in the world goes to those East Bay Athletic League schools because they were the pioneers. They showed us what great lacrosse is about. And they have been the dominant team that we have looked up to and, you know, have idolized for all these years. And for us to knock off 2 of their teams and get into this position to win the championship, not only for the school, not only for the league, but for the North Bay in general. You know, they showed us what good lacrosse was like and how good lacrosse is done. And now we're just carrying that on And we've got some pretty good lacrosse out here, too.
Yeah, just look at the enthusiasm, as you poetically said, as the fans just came onto the field, stormed it, almost like a March Madness type of effort in college basketball. And they're pretty excited, and so is the team. And, I think it's awfully tough to win a championship on the road because you're just facing that element, the fans anticipating a victory, being the home team. And, to me, when you get out early 3-0, they really silence this crowd, added the momentum, and, boy, that offense, it just seemed to be really at a high peak level all throughout the contest. But really, in that first period, to get that advantage, and it was uphill all the way for Novato all afternoon.
Familiar league foes matching up in the championship. It was the first appearance for both schools. And yet it was the lower-seeded visiting team from Larkspur, the Redwood Giants, coming out on top. And just a remarkable story about a team that has senior leadership, but yet at the same time is so young and has a lot of returners coming back. And this is going to be a team, Tommy, that is going to be feared with next year in the North Coast Section Division I ranks once again.
Well, that's the scariest part. Their top players are underclassmen, and with Tracy and Kelly getting 4 and 3 goals on the afternoon, man, that's offensive power that next year will be a year older and a year more confident with a championship under the belt. No telling what they can do next year in this area.
David Gross, who this year has put together a pretty good season. One of the best all time, if you talk about win differential in lacrosse. His 16-6 mark would be the best, with the most wins in a regular season. Now 17-6 after today's win. That is the single best season in Redwood lacrosse history for any coach. In what is his second year, and now they're going to present the awards and trophy to the Redwood Giants. Like I said, they had never made it to this point ever in the finals. Closest they've been was semifinals back in 2012. That last year as they lost to De La Salle. And all the guys that were part of a very good all MCAL lacrosse team, as this league was a really good league this year. But you talk about all the first teamers and Patrick Tracy, Britton Burge, Max Friend, Liam Burke, Matt Kennis, Reagan Kelly, and JP Josie making second team. And on the other end, you have to give big props to Novato, Tommy, as they didn't lay down in the fourth quarter. And they could have easily let things really get away from them, down by double-digit goals. And they played for pride, and I think they played for their hometown fans and said, you know what, we can't go out looking like this. We need to show them at least a little something that, at least we've got some heart. And like I said, after all that they've been through, we talked about, what they went through last year with their coach and getting a new coach this year. Sometimes that transition can be hard, but they made it look easy at least in getting to this point and pulling off what I think maybe prior to this championship game now, as I look at this, Redwood being a pretty high upset, but I still think they pulled off the upset of the tournament in knocking off the number 1 seeded mighty Spartans of De La Salle.
Oh, I agree with you totally, and you hit it right on the head. It is about pride. It's about ending on a high note. You don't want to think about your last moments on the field being down 10 goals, as you mentioned. You want it to be that, hey, we made it somewhat respectable, got the advantage in the fourth quarter, and you end on that note. And for the underclassmen, they build on that for next year. And for the seniors, it's to go on and play collegiately wherever they may, or this might be their last game as well, but leave on a high note and be proud of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I wish the best of luck to Max McCone going to Cal. I'm a big-time Cal fan, a season ticket holder for the football team, and so I wish him the best of luck. I'll even try to make it out to a lacrosse game to check him out.
I can guarantee you'll be there to see him in lacrosse.
Yeah, as for the goalie as well, Cole Akins, who didn't have the best game. He might have been one of the reasons that kind of contributed to the loss today for Novato, but he is still going to be going to a college to play, that being Limestone University. I wish him the best of luck.
Yeah, and for the keeper, Atkins, a lot of nerves, playing in championships. I was fortunate to play in a couple in my high school, and I remember how nervous I was. It's awfully a lot of pressure. Some young players can handle it, and the majority of them really, are overwhelmed by the whole process. And, again, for the underclassmen, build on this. Learn from it. For the seniors, you had your chance, but hopefully you came away in that last quarter with a little bit of pride and, hopefully and on a nice, healthy note.
Well, I think Max, the older McCone, said it best, and that this program is in good hands with Jane if he could stay with this program. And I don't see Jane, after talking to him today prior to the game, I have any intentions of him leaving this program and bolting. I think he's going to be here for a while. He's going to establish a great lacrosse program here at Novato, and he's going to even have a good core to work with next year. When you talk about the younger McCone, who will be coming back as a junior next year, Quinn, then you have Juan Carlos O'Neill, who played decently today at defense. He'll be coming back next year as a junior. And then you'll have Craig Carroll, another guy coming back who was huge for him defensively today and was pressuring, having to get in the face of Tracy, which was a hard assignment. But he had that task, and he did the best job he could do. He'll be coming back next year as a junior. Danny Eggert, one of their middles, he'll be coming back and relied upon as kind of the scorer next year. He'll be back as a senior. And even Tommy Carrasco, who was moving the ball around quite well. I thought he had some good passes on the ball. He was only a junior this year. He'll be back for his senior year next year as well.
Yeah, I mean, with the turmoil at the coaching position, that's a lot of changes. That's a lot of, especially for the kids to learn different philosophies because, each coach has a different take on how to work the ball offensively. And to come through all that, and as you said, Jane being really the stabilizing force, and it seems like the team really took a liking to him and really took their games above and beyond the call of duty, so to speak, with the way he was coaching them. And that's a tough situation. I mean, that's remarkable that they even made it this far with that much turmoil in the program.
Well, folks, I think we're going to try to wrangle up our player of the game. I already know who it's picked. I'm sure Tommy's going to agree with me. We'll talk it over here once we go to a quick commercial break. But we'll be right back, try to get our player of the game interview with a member of the Redwood Giants, as they are this year's champion in the sport of lacrosse, the 2013 Division I Boys Lacrosse Champs. The Redwood Giants out of Larkspur winning tonight's game by a final score of 13-7. Folks, don't get anywhere. You're going to want to watch this interview here on PlayOnSports.com. All right, folks, we're back here for the PlayOnSports.com Player of the Game interview. None other than Patrick Tracy, the man of the match. 4 goals to lead your team in the scoring today in what was a 13-7 final score. The first ever boys lacrosse championship in the North Coast section, determined from a team here in the North Bay in the Marin County Athletic League. How does that feel, just to represent not only for your school, but now you're representing for your league and you're representing for your part of the Bay Area? You know, you're representing, because you know how the Bay Area is split. There's the East Bay, there's the South Bay, the Peninsula, but you're representing for all of your region right now.
Yeah, oh my God, it feels great. Playing from Marin, playing from Redwood, Larkspur, we don't get any press that all the East Bay teams get, the SIs get.
Excuse me there, really quick. Let me just close this door if I can. That way we don't get interrupted here anymore. Go on.
Yeah, so playing for Redwood, we always come in with a chip on our shoulder. When we go to the East Bay, we lost a few games freshman, sophomore year, and that to us, we were like, okay, God, we got some work to do. It's been a year or two from then, and now we're playing with those teams, we're beating those teams, and here today we showed we can play with the best of them, and we can be the best.
And you even showed really Northern California dominance, if you want to talk about your first opponent in this year's playoffs, having to take on a team from Sacramento that entered into the playoff ranks, beating Oak Ridge, and proving that you can beat teams that are the best in the Sac Joaquin section.
Yeah, over there, they're definitely a growing lacrosse community too. Give them a year or two, they'll be playing with us, close games. SI, of course, they don't play in our league, but we played them close, OT game, 13-12. So we know we can play with them. And then the East Bay, and we beat them too. So.
And talk about those 2 wins. First off, the second round win against Foothill, in which you guys were an underdog, not really picked to win that game at all. And then you go on to beat them, and then you go to the semifinal game against Monte Vista, the number 2 seed, who was looking like they were an automatic entry, just as De La Salle was. It looked like it was going to be the top 2 seeds, De La Salle and Monte Vista. Nothing new, 2 EBAL teams in the finals game. And both, not only you guys, but your opponent today, Novato, reversed history and changed that and made it 2 MCAL teams. But what'd you guys learn in beating those 2 teams from the East Bay Athletic League, which is always the best when it comes to lacrosse here in Northern California, that might have set you up for what happened today on the field?
It takes heart. It takes the knowledge that you know you can win. When we went in there early on, we always came in intimidated, came under fire. We felt like we just didn't feel like we were able to compete with them. And then we come in now and we feel like the field is ours. Like we can play with anybody. And then that translates over to here. We feel we're coming off a big win against Monte Vista. We're coming back to playing an MCAL team. We know we're going to go off. We're going to keep our sticks good, whatnot, and we're going to play a good game. And that's what happened today.
And, maybe it just seemed like you guys were the more aggressive team today, defensively putting a lot of pressure. It didn't seem like they really got a lot of shots on Madison. Of course, the ones that Madison did get coming his way, he saved most of the time. He was phenomenal behind the net.
Oh, my God. He had an amazing game. Oliver played fantastic. They took tons of shots. He saved them all. He was involved in everything, clearing the ball, saving the ball. He really kept us in the game today.
I mean, it really seemed like even your offensive players became defensive-minded really quick and kind of pressured Cole Akins into making a lot of mistakes there with his passes.
Our game plan going into the game, we watched a lot of film on Novato, and we were like, we got to press these guys. They can't handle the pressure. We got up, put our sticks in their face. Defense got in on their hands, forced some turnovers. And that gave us a lot more possession for us to do our thing.
I'm sure the defense was pretty happy about shutting down McCone, only really letting him go off in the fourth quarter when the game was pretty much irrelevant, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Liam Burke, he had a fantastic game. He was stuck to McCone all day. I don't know how many he had through the first 3, but it looked like he wasn't doing much. And then the rest of our defense, Matt Kennis played fantastic. Henry Mesker shut his man down. Our entire defense was just working. They had 2 goals going in the fourth quarter, I think. That's 2 goals. Like, we only heard the Novato bench cheering once or twice all game, and that really helped us out.
And I guess, what about the telepathy that you and Reagan Kelly share out there? I know there's an article that was set out there and how you guys you just know what's going on. He knows where you're going to be at. You know where he's going to be at. Explain to me kind of how you two have grown. I mean, you guys have played together since, what, the 3rd grade?
No, not the 3rd grade. We actually got together in high school.
Oh, okay.
Me and Liam have played since the 3rd grade.
Liam Burke since the 3rd grade,
yeah.
Okay.
So we go way back. But me and Regan have had 3 years to sort of figure each other out. And going into this year, we really wanted to build a chemistry, build a crease kind of thing where I could go one way, he'd go the other way, and I'd know he's there. And we were able to do that really well all year. And you can see in this game, it's just finalized, and it's the end product. It's what we've been working on all year, and it's what we've been dreaming about.
So you would say that you and Liam Burke are pretty much best friends at this point, right?
Yeah, we're definitely very good friends.
And are you maybe trying to coax him out of his verbal to Michigan and maybe saying, hey, come with me to Brown, or do you think he's pretty set?
He's pretty set on Michigan. That's a great school for him. You know, we talk about it and whatnot. I'm really happy for him. I know he's really happy for me and whatnot. We know we went our separate ways. We think it's best for us. But, yeah, we've been playing together for a long time, and it's just nice to really come out and win NCS. Man.
2 more quick questions. I know you want to celebrate.
Yeah.
First off, what has it been like to play for Gross? I mean, he's been there pretty much for the start of your career.
Yeah.
You also were a freshman when he wasn't there. You've been all league so far ever since your freshman year, which I think is pretty phenomenal. You're going to go into your senior year and probably get all league again next year, which is going to be great. 4-time all leaguer, barring anything uncircumstantial. But what has it been like to play with David Gross, who with this win today put up the best single season in history in lacrosse at Redwood?
Oh my God, he's been fantastic. He's been a mentor for me. 7th and 8th grade, he coached me in club, then came to Redwood my freshman year. So he's been coaching me for 5 years straight. Going to be 6 next year, hopefully. And I can't tell you the influence he's been on my life. He's taught me so much that I know now. He's taught me a way to play the game. He played back east at North Carolina. He's brought that over to me. He's brought the mentality to me. I can't thank him enough for all he's done for me. He helped me get recruited.
And what are you going to work on in this offseason to try to defend the title next year?
Oh, we got to get in shape, stay up, get our stick skills. We need to just come back with the same mentality that we can play with anybody. We're one of the best teams in the Bay. Proved it this year, and let's hope next year we can come out and do the same thing, you know?
Last but not least, a little party going to go down tonight?
There might be a little something going on tonight. I don't know, maybe a little organized dance or whatnot.
Sure.
But, we're going to have some fun. Enjoy the win. Stay safe, you know?
Right.
Everything's going to be all good.
Awesome. Well, congratulations
Hey,
once
thanks so
again,
much,
Patrick. Man. You were stellar today. 4 goals and many more. I mean, it was just more than the goals. You were kind of the man, like I said, the Joe Thornton of this team for all of you Bay Area hockey fans that are listening into this and know exactly what I'm talking about. He was the man right behind the goal, setting other players up for their goals today. Also played killer defense and really just a leader out there on the field. And just think he's coming back next year for his senior year. I can't wait to see the senior season 4.0 for Patrick Tracy's. Well, wearing the number 4 too.
Yep.
So Patrick, hey, wish you the best of luck next year. Have fun tonight. Have celebrating. We wish you the best of luck through the offseason in trying to defend your title, and go have some fun, huh?
Yeah.
Folks, once again, this is our player of the game, Patrick Tracy, who with his 4 goals helped his Redwood Giants become the Giants of the North Coast Section Division I lacrosse ranks as his team takes home their first ever North Coast Section Championship in the sport of lacrosse, the first ever in the MCAL, first ever in the North Bay region for lacrosse, with the final score 13-7. We'll be right back, folks. All right, folks, Michael K. Smith back with you to wrap up the post-game show here live from Novato High School. Once again, the final score in this one, 13-6. The Redwood Giants taking home their first ever North Coast Section title in the sport of lacrosse. It was the first time that any MCAL teams were in the title game, let alone 2 teams advancing to the title game. It was a fun game to watch, a fun game to broadcast, and just props to both teams, but especially Redwood, who just, like I said, they just came out more intense and with more of a purpose, Tommy.
Yeah, they got out to the early 3-goal lead, and I think that really set the tone. It was hard for Novato to get back in the contest. A few times they did, but once again, Redwood City came back ultra quick to get that goal and keep that momentum going in their way. It was tough for Novato to get any type of momentum, sustain it, and that's a tough afternoon here, especially in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, they got some goals late in the second half, but it might have been too little too late as they were pretty much shut out in the first half. I think the final score in the first half was 10-1 or 10-2, and they kind of regrouped things in the second half, but by then it was too little too late. But you got to give props once again to McCone, showing that heart that he has. As Coach Jane was telling me before the game, he's that frog where when the whirlpool's going around, he's the one refusing to go down the whirlpool, and finally when the water turns into a froth, he's the one that jumps out of the water. And we did see that heart on display from McCone, who never kept fighting, never gave up, and tried to put his team in best position. But ultimately, it was the Redwood Giants who would go on to bigger and better lengths, had more success on the field, were more of the aggressor instead of the aggressee. Well, folks, for all of us here on Play on Sports, I'm talking about my videographer, James Davies, my producer, Omar Lewis, and my color partner, Conroy. I'm Michael K. Smith, also known as Mike on the Mic, and I look forward to being part of another exciting and exhilarating broadcast here on the Play on Sports Sports Network. I'll be back actually tomorrow for track and field live from Memorial Stadium in Berkeley, an all-day affair. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm sure Sasha Wallace is going to be there, and she has her running shoes ready to go. So, folks, thank you for staying tuned with us to tonight's 2013 North Coast Section Boys Lacrosse Championship game in Division I. Once again, the Redwood Giants taking home their first ever title by a score of 13-6, the 6th seed knocking off the 4-seeded Novato, who played at home tonight and had a rough go-around in front of their hometown fans. Well, folks, have a great Memorial Day weekend.